currently standing by with UOL's bottom lane.
Thank you very much, QuickShot. I am indeed joined by Steelback and Hylissang of the victorious Unicorns of Love. First of all, Steelback, I want to talk to you. Welcome back to Europe, it appears. That was a fantastic game for both of you guys, but especially I just want to talk about this 11-0-4 score on this Kalista. What is it like to be back in Europe and pulling out numbers like that?
Well, I wanted to be back in Europe because I wanted to prove to everyone that I improved a lot from MSI, because I felt I couldn't prove to people that I improved. So it feels good to be back and be finally able to show my skill.
And you did it certainly well against your former team, I might add. And Hylissang, you guys have this very incredible synergy together. That's the kind of thing that usually takes some time to develop. How did it happen so quickly for the two of you?
We just synergize a lot of the persons, and like outside of the game, we're like really good friends. And I think in the game, he's a really good player. And when you play with really good player, you understand each other. You don't need much synergy. You just know like what he's going to do and what I'm going to do, and we just fit together like really good. And yeah, that's basically it is.
Something just clicked indeed, and I want to ask about this all over the map play. You guys have looked far more crisp. Gone is the chaos style of old. Steelback. Where did this very clean map control game come from on this team?
Well, I think in scrims we work a lot about team control. And about the shot calling, everyone is giving their input in game, and we all agreeing with one thing. So everybody is a bit shot calling in the game, and I think this is the best way.
And it's certainly working out well. So last question to you, Hilly. Coming into the split, teams maybe some people underrated you guys, saying Unicorns would maybe be closer to the bottom of the table. You started off 3-1, and you've just knocked off Fnatic. So how do you think this changes the perception of the Unicorns of Love going forward in the spring split?
I think people lost a bit faith in us, in the Unicorns, because we were like really inconsistent in the previous season, and we were like going good against the good teams, but against the mid-tier teams we were doing really poorly, and fans were like, just no, they're not that good. But now that we have like really good and experienced players, they all give the input in the game, and we can work really good together, and we can do really well as a team now.
Fantastic play from the both of you. Thank you once again for joining me. I can't wait to see more of that magic as the spring split continues. But for now, though, we are going to send it back to the analyst desk to break down that amazing win by the Unicorns of Love.
Why, thank you, Pyra, and fantastic, honestly, to hear from that newly formed bottom lane there in Steelback. It must feel great for him to be able to do this, and a lot of it came from his play as well. We heard Fishu at the end talk a lot about the end of the game. Let's go back all the way to the beginning, because that lane swap looked like it would be deciding everything for a long time.
Yeah, basically if the lane swap happens, and Fishu touched on this in the game as well, Fnatic would be significantly ahead, but Unicorns of Love actually predicted, so the replay is here. We can immediately roll it. So what Steelback and Hylissang did is, like, when the game started, they walked already past the ward line, so they hid in under their tower. They just waited there, and then Fnatic, they're not expecting lane swap, so the result of that is no camp taken by Corki Alistar, camp taken by Kalista, so in an unfavorable matchup, they're also a camp ahead in experience, and Fnatic is caught with their pants down, so that transitions into a lead for Unicorns, but Fnatic do make a good move to catch up.
Yeah, this is exactly how Fnatic got themselves back into the game. They got that Rift Herald off opportunistic timing, then said, okay, well, we can see we can push in the top lane faster than you can push in bottom right now. So just a nice way of seeing that both teams had different game plans when it came to the pushing game at different stages. I like that Fnatic were able to take a bad situation and get themselves back into the game.
Yeah, one thing that we did notice is that Unicorns played a very controlled style in getting their CS lead. They actually could have, in my opinion, and this is very nitpicky and people may disagree, I think they could have actually smashed the 2v2 way harder, because Thresh Kalista completely wrecks Corki Alistar, and I think they could have actually had a bigger lead. But the fact that they got like a 30 CS lead there, the Ryze got 30 CS ahead of the Poppy, that was just fantastic to see that Unicorns read the lane swap. They did their homework. They didn't play everything perfect, but it's still a team that is coming together, and yeah, I was thoroughly surprised.
And another thing that you could see from the Unicorns team is that yesterday they were fighting for the sake of fighting. This time around, Fnatic looked to push up in the middle lane. We've got another replay. And this time it was just better from the Unicorns of Love how they were getting into the fights. Vizicachi specifically coming into this one. He gets the teleport with the home guards and ends up distracting a whole lot of the backline targets here.
Yeah, so the fight actually looked pretty bad at the start with Diamond Procs going in. Vizicachi buys a lot of time. He goes down. I think in the later parts, I think this is where Fox has a beautiful shadow later on here on Febiven. So keep your eyes on Fox right now. He's going to put his W forward. Charm comes out. He waits for it. Bam. Then he goes in and flashes onto Febiven. That right here is what I like to see from Fox, because that was a player we were harping on last split. It's like, yeah, Fox, not that great. He gets Zed, and he's called out playing, leaving Febiven without any other choice than to misplay. In the end, he outplayed Febiven right there, and finally the Unicorns are individually outplaying their opponents. They're playing a decent macro game. You can still see they're in the building phase. A lot of things could have been better, quicker, faster, stronger. Daft Punk reference,
Don't
but
be
yeah,
daft.
don't be daft. But still, good team fight right there, and they kept control of the game for the majority.
There are also just a couple of other little things that Unicorns were doing that just made it that bit harder for Fnatic. You know, in the Elements game, we saw a double locket. This time, Hylissang was like, no, you've got Nari and a Corki, I'm going to get a banner. So just a whole lot of little things, like as you mentioned, with the charm play, that kind of thing, the Unicorns were doing very well, and it's good to see.
Still want to see more blue trinkets from Fnatic, though.
Yeah.
They have this style when they're ahead where they really make great use of the yellow trinkets, but when they're behind and Unicorns were doing Barons this often, we need to see more blue trinkets from Fnatic. Because that Baron sneak that Unicorns attempted, if they actually didn't send Visit Chachi in and just kept doing it 4-man, there was a good chance that Fnatic wouldn't even have thought about checking the Baron pit, and the game could have ended right there with a 4-man sneak, 3-man sneak potentially from the Unicorn. So Fnatic a little greedy, I think, relying so heavily on Noxiac to face check, as every time it was like, oh, Noxiac, you know, you gotta go and blow your ulti again, it's good. If they had more blue trinkets, could have avoided some of that.
Well, we'll be able to ask them about those blue trinkets because Reckless will be joining us on the desk for the rest of the day after the break, because then we will also see Splice taking on Roccat as they look for their very first win of the split. Stay right there because we'll be right back.
Premier matchup of the spring split last year. Let's see if UOL can bounce back from the defeat yesterday. Keeper's verdict will knock him up into the air, and Reckless will find himself a double kill. Steelback wants to get a kill, but Featherman goes golden.
Nice. Corki. Corki. Nice one. Good job, mate.
There is the keeper's verdict and knocks Steelback into the air. Gumsu's almost soloed it. Steelback starting to stay alive. He's hopped away. The lantern keeps him up. No ultimate now for Noxiac. The Hylissang finds Hylissang, but it's not really the man you want. Noxiac gets a 2-man knockup. The rest of Fnatic's backline are peeling away. Oh no! Hook on Featherman! Featherman's in trouble, and he's down. Steelback continues to destroy Fnatic, and the Unicorns of Love have proven that the magic is still real.